Hello. Let me move my microphone closer. I've removed... No, actually I don't need to because I have the pop filter off. But yeah. I owe a few of you an apology, I guess. Because, a lot of you sent me this video. This here that is on the screen right now. And I got really angry and annoyed. And I lashed out at you when you kept sending me this video. And I'm sorry for that. I shouldn't lash out at people in my audience in general. It's not something nice to do. And I know that those of you who I lashed out against are subscribed to this second channel where I decided to talk about things like this, and I'm genuinely sorry. I watched this video. It's okay. But you need to understand, I see things like these, right, as nonsensical cultural garbage. The conversation about internet personalities. Political Twitch is in many ways just it's the commodification of politics. We don't actually discuss concepts, ideas, real political issues on Twitch politics. People on Twitch politics discuss personalities. They sell commodities. They sell political positions as a commodity. Most internet political communities are commodity communities. They are not communities that are held together by beliefs. They're held together the same way that, people who buy Pokemon games are held together by the fact that they all own Pokemon games and share a common hobby in that. It's a commodity for sale. And I am very serious when I say that my main channel and what I'm doing is moving away from that. Very much moving away from that. Alright? So I don't really like to participate in that. And if I do participate, it will be here on this channel that barely has 3,000 subscribers, which only those of you who actually want to hear my opinion on this matter will get to watch. And I guarantee you, I'm not going to promote this anywhere. Let me show you something. This has been taking up the majority of my time in the recent month. I got out of hand a little bit with the research and the writing, and the video ended up being 45 minutes long again. And I know some of you will be happy about this, that we are again finally getting to a long video again. In fact, would you like to watch a segment now? I'll play you a segment, since there's not a lot of you here. I'll mute my microphone and I'll play this segment for you. The Sui dynasty did not last long. Its second emperor, Yang, was a megalomaniac who used the power of the state to build a massive wall that caused a famine, and even more stupid, invaded Vietnam and Korea, which ended in disaster and bankruptcy of the state. A rebellion followed that established the Tang dynasty. The Tang were descendants from a prominent aristocratic family of northern China, and they reinforced a system of family appointments within the structures of the states in the Confucian tradition. However, far from providing a basis for good leadership resulting out of social harmony through family traditions, the reintroduction of this system resulted in ever more insipid scheming among families around the royal court to bring themselves into positions of power, culminating with the woman known in Chinese records as the evil Empress Wu, who took control of the royal court through various plots involving the murder of her political rivals, the killing of the heir to the throne, and the appointment of her own son as the heir. Under her rule, the state administration saw most of its Confucian scholars and aristocrats murdered or kicked out, and replaced with loyal agents of her own willing to do her bidding. What we see in this case is how the powerful state that had been created in China could be very well used by an elite to inflict a rule of terror upon the wider country, even against a set of elites who had entrenched themselves through family connections into such positions. Not surprisingly, her rule caused a rebellion that ultimately led to the overthrow of the Tang and the establishment of the Song dynasty, who themselves were conquered by the Mongols, who founded the Yuan dynasty, which, despite adapting well into Chinese society, continued to be seen as foreign occupiers and were eventually overthrown in rebellion by the Ming dynasty. The Ming refocused on the building of the legalist Chinese state on a foundation of meritocracy, with the building of canals and their famous foreign expeditions. They also cut the size of the state in half in an attempt to make it more efficient. To prevent the establishment of increasingly inept or powerful but still entrenched family lineages in the state bureaucracy, the Ming resorted to the posting of eunuchs as ministers of the state. The use of eunuchs in positions of power had been common in China. An assumption was that a eunuch, by the very fact of his living condition, could not aspire towards entrenching and advancing family interests within the apparatus of the state. The Ming created an effective bureaucracy and state around the use of eunuch bureaucrats. The Ming emperors trusted these eunuchs more than any aristocratic families under the assumption that they would not betray them. Over 100,000 eunuchs ended up serving in the Ming dynasty state. The Ming emperors started sending these eunuchs out as spies to aristocratic families and to punish those who may have transgressed in the name of the emperor. By the 15th century, the eunuchs had developed into a massive secret police organization called the Eastern Depot that inflicted a rule of terror upon the country. The emperors lost control over the state institution that they had created. The eunuchs gained increasing control over the royal court, became increasingly corrupt, and the stability of the state increasingly declined, which led to rebellion and the Qing dynasty. What we see here in the examples of the Ming and the Tang is that both a state built on a foundation of Confucian principle, family lineages, and patrimonialism, as well as a state built on legalist principle of meritocracy, are capable of collapsing into despotism and state terror. One of the key weaknesses of the Chinese state is its lack of any upward accountability. The Chinese state is a state built around power collecting at the top, and at which the authority of the state is acted out from the top to the bottom. The unique development of the Chinese state allowed for the establishment of a highly centralized and very powerful state, a state capable of mass mobilization to build massive projects such as the Great Wall or the modern-day Three Gorges Dam or the modern-day high-speed rail networks, but also a state capable of exceptional despotism and state terror, with a lack of most, if not any, public accountability. From the Empress Wu, to the Eastern Depot, to the Cultural Revolution, to the modern crackdowns on any dissent. People who wish to challenge the Chinese state can only do so through slowly complaining upward from the bottom through all the institutions of the Chinese state, to the top of that state. And this means that the state is only as strong as the incorruptibility of its state institutions and bureaucrats. For the Chinese state to function, it must remain meritocratic, but it has to balance that with avoiding despotism, as well as the entrenchment of patrimonial or clientistic interest groups. There is no public or populist mechanism by which the state can be made to change course. Now, drink that in. Drink that in. These 5 minutes. These are only 5 minutes, I believe. Let me zoom out and take a look. Yeah, 5 minutes. This is 5 minutes from a 45-minute video. Now, drink that in. What you just watched. The information. Think about what about it was new. Do you know something that was incorrect, etc.? I know I made one mistake where I referred to the Tang as the Tong, which is a bit embarrassing, but I'm not going to edit it out. Little mistakes like this give a video a certain degree of character, in a way. But after watching this, with your most critical viewpoint, wouldn't you agree that this, what I make here, is far more interesting than anything I would have to say about people like Vaush or Shu or Lawrence Southern or Destiny or whatever the fuck? Don't you think this is more interesting? Don't you think this is more worth your time? Maybe you're still interested in what I have to say about these things, but I ask you politely at this. Don't pressure me to try to get me to talk about this on my main big channel. I know for a fact that the majority of my audience do not even know who Vaush is, who Sargon is, what Gamergate was, who ContraPoints is. I am disconnecting my channel from that commentary sphere because my goal is not to win a battle in the culture war. My goal is to end the culture war. I want to show people that there is a way to talk about politics, a way to talk about political institutions and structures and policies that isn't culture warish. That is what I want to show them. I want to show to people that it can be fact-based, calm, interesting, That is what I want to show to people. And I would like to proceed in this project. Now, I think that is a worthwhile thing to do. So, I also think that most of you would agree with that. So let me proceed with this, okay? Don't try to get me to talk about these people on my main channel. Allow my main channel to go and do this. I think it will succeed long term. It might take a year, 2 years, or 3 years even. It might take a long time to get people disinterested in the, personality politics that so many others engage in. But I do believe that with enough time and effort, I will succeed. We will succeed, because it's no longer just me doing this. I've managed to gather together a couple of creators with who we do this together. All right? So, if you want me to talk about, the personalities of political YouTube, you have to come to me with something interesting, something worthwhile talking about in the first place, something that in some way might affect me, but also on my second channel. We can keep this here, this channel that, is disconnected from my main channel. We can keep this as sort of, I guess, our dirty little secret in a way. But that's about all. Yeah. Okay. So, to get to that, I just looked at the Doomer Politics Twitter as well, etc. I have no idea where he came from. Got to tell you that. I recognize his voice. That's why I'm interested in him to a degree. When I watched the first few minutes of this video and I instantly recognized the voice. I'm convinced I've heard this guy before. I don't know where though. I think it's in a Destiny Discord, because I used to hang out and talk a lot with the people in the Discord of Destiny. There's a lot of very nice, very interesting, and also very intelligent people there, so I can recommend it. So I liked the first minutes of this video. I think I watched until the end of Equivocation, maybe is somewhat into misinformation as well. But I like the video. I think it's very well researched and made. But, as one of you who DM'd me this video pointed out to me, one of you said, Vaush only watched the first 5 minutes, then browsed the comment sections and insulted the guy. And what I did was I browsed the comment section of this video, and I have to tell you, and a lot of you will hate this, let's go to top comments. Why does it not change? God damn it. Okay, here we go. Here's Lauren Chen. Here's Sinatra Says. And Sargon is also there. You know what that means to a degree, right? It means that even if this guy came from, I don't know, the Destiny community or anything like that, he did attract the people from right-wing YouTube. And to a degree that doesn't matter, but to a degree it does. I would like to show you something when you go to the newest comments. Let's read some of these comments, shall we? There's a few that stood out to me, and I would like to find them. Her name was Ashley Babbitt. You know, the woman who was shot in Congress during the storming of the Capitol. So here you have a right-wing loon, right? There's another comment that somehow stuck out for me. Where is it? Other than your disdain of Trump, you're on the point. Trump was significantly more important than any presidential candidate. What do we else have? I cannot take anyone seriously who complains about the alt-right. Cringe. Just, you know, not racist enough for my taste, but still a good video. Now, I want to make something very clear, but we can go to the other video. Like, I didn't even watch this one about Vadim yet. But what I did was go through the comments. When will the radical centrist types just give up and realize that Uncle A, which is an alt-right term if you don't know for Hitler, was right? We should be dealing with this. And there's something here that really caught my eye. Where is he? Where is he? Here, Thinking Ape. I remember Thinking Ape from the, I think he's a MGTOW right-wingish guy who also promoted race realism. So, the thing is, if you go back there, there's one other comment there that stood out to me. But I can't find it anymore. Yeah, you'd have to take the time to read through this. I'm just doing this from the top here, from the stop. Vaush has a point when he picks out the various nasty right-wing commenters here. Like, I despise Vaush. I think he's a gross grifter. I agree with what I heard in the video here, right? But the thing is, I don't think that Duma Politics is a right-wing person, right? I do not believe that. I don't think that we decide, that we pick our audience, right? I do not believe that we do that. I mean, I do not believe that we have a large influence over who our audience is. We don't often choose who our audience is. Sometimes an audience comes to us and we are helpless to do anything about which kind of person comes to our channel. But what I do know is that Sargon and co gave this video enormous shoutouts, and what I do know is you're seeing all the alt-right types in the comments as a result of this. You know, the online conservative sphere has prostituted itself so much to the alt-right, to Nazis, to the absolute bottom of the fucking barrel, that whatever they touch, the shit comes with it. This is not a bad video. But it's shit-stained by outsiders. And that's kind of it got me thinking a little bit when I did this. It's why I'm recording this. It kind of details a certain way the almost the hopelessness of the Twitch, YouTube political sphere, doesn't it? The cultural sphere in general. That no matter what side you pick, because I don't think that Duma Politics is an extremist, but by taking a stance against one extremist, you only attract the attention and the praise of the opposing extremist. It's a trap, isn't it, when you engage in this? You're trapped in this endless cycle of extremists fucking with each other. All of right-wing YouTube showed up into the comment section of this video, not necessarily because they liked the video or enjoyed the video or agreed with the video, but because they saw it as an opportunity to get back at a person with whom they have a personal grudge to settle. It's tragic, isn't it? It emphasizes how much of political YouTube, commentary YouTube in particular, is about settling personal scores. It's very depressing, isn't it? Very depressing. So yeah, you asked me my opinion on this video, and here you go. It's a good video, but it doesn't matter that it's a good video. You see, even in that kind of sphere, in the kind of environment that was created, the environment that I am determined to escape, by the way, your opinions don't matter. The data doesn't matter, the research doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much you put effort into trying to analyze someone who is wrong, because the very sphere itself, the structures of political commentary YouTube itself, is designed to be this vicious little dogfighting pit. So it's a good video, but it doesn't matter. You know, it's just part of this silly ping pong game. Well, if you have any other questions of me regarding this video, just post them in the comment section. I think I can make time on maybe Thursday to answer some of these questions, but you have to keep in mind I am mainly focused on the video that I wish to publish before this month is over, about the political development of the Indian society and the Chinese state. That will be a priority in the coming weeks. And none of this here will ever be a priority to me again. Okay? So we'll keep this here on the Dirty Little Secret channel, if there's anything you want to talk about. We'll also remove shit like this from Twitch, by the way. We'll not be talking about this on Twitch either. Twitch will be to talk about the concepts of statehood, institutional economics, political development, political structure of various societies and states. That is what we will be talking about on Twitch. None of this, okay? So we'll stay here in the Dirty Little Secret on YouTube on the second channel, okay? Okay. See you again later.